Mm.
Reclaimed elites assaulting the shallows. Reclaimed elites assaulting the ward. Reclaimed. Heavy presence. Old Town. East Side Narrow. 113. Control. Bywater.
You made it. I didn't doubt that you would, of course, but my patience was beginning to be tested. Let's start with a formal introduction. You are the tourist, and I am Jean-Baptiste. JB for short. There now, we can proceed to matters of more profound consequence. It is my understanding.
Let me gather my thoughts. I can focus now, sorry.
You made it. I didn't doubt.
Let me gather my thoughts. I'm ready to listen.
You made it. I didn't doubt that you would, of course, but my patience was beginning to be tested. Let's start with a formal introduction. You are the tourist, and I am Jean-Baptiste. JB for short. There now, we can proceed to matters of more profound consequence. It is my understanding that this gizmo here would be of use to you. It's all yours. Consider it a gift. And when we are finished with our conversation, I will provide you with the missing dial that you'll need to operate it. Sound fair?
Sounds fair.
Terrific. Now, I prefer to play it straight. Once I received word that you were collecting these devices, and to what purpose, I saw an opportunity to connect with the city's most illustrious survivor and have a chat about the reserve. So I made it a priority to acquire one through various means I will not divulge. And now here you are. It is my hope when I am through, you will see the reserve for what it is. Nothing more than a crutch holding back the people of this fine city from regaining themselves.
You've piqued my interest. Go on.
I am a firm believer in the greatness of humankind, our ingenuity, our art, our towering scientific achievements. This reserve nonsense, even if the rumors about what may be inside it exceed our wildest dreams, the bounty will only prolong our addiction to survivalism as the only path in life. It will stifle our creativity. It will eventually lead to our withering doom. Now, this is the proposal that I have for you. Continue your search for the reserve, and when you unearth it, which I have the utmost confidence you will, destroy it. These 4 numbers will disable the entire flood contingency system. Mother Nature will rage through the reserve and take care of the rest. 1006. Flood the reserve and set us all free. Give this still glorious city the jump start it needs to refocus on something much grander than mere survival. Grant us hope, tourist, and thank you most sincerely for hearing me out. And let's keep this chat between us, if that's all right. I'm not sure my comrades would see the big picture benefits of removing the reserve from the equation. The floor's now yours, my friend. Anything on your mind that requires clarity?
I want your perspective on the reserve.
Uh-huh.
If the rumors about what's inside the reserve are true, wouldn't it benefit the Reclaimed to get your hands on it?
You are absolutely correct. But once those supplies are gone, then what? The same old fruitless pursuits. And there is the very distinct possibility that the tower gets to it before we do. The only way to guarantee this city will move forward in the proper direction is to remove the reserve from the equation entirely.
How did you find this code to flood the reserve?
One of my scouts came across the corpse of a National Guardsman in Rampart High School. The body had a manual for a bunker's flood defense system. I put 2 and 2 together.
Why choose me to destroy the reserve?
Because you're the one best equipped to find the accursed place, and I trust you will do the right thing when you do. Call it a hunch.
I have some other questions for you, JB. I'm curious about the Reclaimed.
Yes?
I've heard snippets about the Reclaimed philosophy, but it would be enlightening to hear it from you.
It's simple, really. We want to live purposeful lives, reclaim the world and our humanity along with it. Mere survival is so petty. It's beneath us, forcing people to focus solely on survival. It's cruel, really. I believe we must invest in a future of our own design. Life is not worth living otherwise.
What's with the gory rituals?
First one was a man I knew well in my brief tenure as a tower grunt. I'd even called him a friend. Trip was his name. Snuck up on me in the middle of sleep. Tried to slit my throat. Still carry the scar. Well, long story short, Trip was no match for me. I maimed him. Something awful, really. And I dragged his body about a mile all the way to the southern bump, which at the time was the most highly trafficked exit from the tower. I found an old oak, hung him upside down from it so his lifeblood would spill rapidly into the soil, and upon his chest I pinned a note that read, "Keep 'em coming." And just like that, I became the most feared boogeyman Nola has seen since the Axeman. Once I had fear on my side, the rest just blossomed naturally. Those with nowhere else to go wanted what I had, so they listened. And they learned. I empowered them. That's all people want. A sense that their lives still have some meaning.
The Reclaimed have made quite a mark on the city. How did the movement get started?
After my exile from the tower for insubordination, I took to raiding their supply lines. Rather efficiently, I might add. No one ever got hurt, and other exiles clamored to join my operations. Needless to say, Mama and her cohorts were not pleased with my exploits, and they sent several communications asking me to cease my pillaging or there'd be consequences. Of course, I refused, politely. No one was going to dictate the terms of my existence anymore. But it wasn't until the tower started sending thugs out to track me down and end me that I decided it was time to send a message of my own.
I have some other questions for you, JB. I've heard enough.
Fair enough. Then we're finished here. The dial, as promised. Godspeed, tourist.
We finally meet, tourist. After all the hype, you're not exactly what I expected. I'm Georgia. Maybe you've heard of me, maybe not. I could give two shits. What does concern me is the man inside the building you just stepped out of. We tracked him here. Heard the commotion upstairs. Did you kill that fool?
You won't have to worry about JB and his yammering anymore.
The tide has fucking turned. Thanks for doing what needed to be done. From this point on, just keep steering clear of the tower, and there won't be any issues between you and me. I'm not a fan of issues, in case you couldn't tell. And when this shit with the reserve pops, I'll make sure tower troops have orders to steer clear of you. stroll?
I'm back, Casey. Ready to repair the pump. You still alive?
Yeah, alive, but almost swimming. No turning back after this, tourist. We have to get after it. I'm running out of time. You prepared?
I'm ready.
Okay. Serial number first.
749-0003-13.
All right. Set valve A to 38.
Valve A, 38. Green.
Valve B needs to be set at 44.
Valve B, 44. A, B, double green.
You're a machine, tourist. Okay, valve C. Set it to 60.
Valve C to 60. Green all around. Button press, and we are calibrated.
Excellent. Okay. The last pump is not far from the cemetery. It's in a concrete industrial shed in the old jazz park, near the statue of the musicians. Should be easy to find. The key you got from May unlocks the door to the shed. Now once the part is installed, contact me and I'll get the pump system started. We are so close, tourist. Access to the reserve for you, get the fuck out of the reserve for me. Can't wait.